Hello and welcome to the Getting Started with Using IFC in Excel tutorial. My name is Jiri Hietanen and I'm going to show you how you can export data that's imported from IFC into Excel using our simplebim application. I have imported our sample model from IFC into simplebim. And now I want to get the data from this model into Excel. The only thing I have to do is click this button, Export to Excel, select the file and save. And when the data is written to Excel, I can open it in the Excel application. What happened is that simplebim wrote the data of all the different object types and objects and properties into Excel. So we have building element proxies, columns, curtain walls, and so on. Basically, everything that we have in the model, we now have in Excel. But it's usually too much. You don't need this much information. So what you can do is, for example, select an object type, like space. We drag and drop it into the included bucket. Then we take away a few spaces that are not spaces but building cross areas. And now we have a selection that contains only the spaces. If I now do the same thing, click on Export to Excel, select the file, and now open this in Excel. We see that it created an Excel file which has the basic stuff like building story, project, and site. And in addition, only the spaces. So we have all the spaces with all the properties on the spaces. Okay, but this is usually also too much. You don't need all the properties. So let's go back to simplebim. And I drag and drop the spaces into the properties palette. And now I make some choices. I select which properties I want to include. So first I exclude everything. Okay, and then I start including some, like the building story name and space name I want, space net floor area, and space number. These I want. Okay, and now when I do the same thing again, click on Export to Excel. I get an Excel which contains only the spaces, and for the spaces only the properties I wanted. Now this is much more manageable and much more useful than having all the data of every object. Okay, and now you can start using the Excel functionality to make this nicer. For example, make this into a table. Okay, now we have a table. Just, stuff that you do in Excel. Change the rounding, total rows. Select that we want the sum for the areas and so on. And now, for example, if I filter the building stories by, just take the ground floor. Now I have the area of the ground floor and so on. Anything that you can do in Excel, the data is there. The global ID is mainly for developers. You probably don't have to worry about that, so you can, for example, hide it like this. Finally, if we go back to simplebim, you can start making this more visual. For example, if I take again the spaces into the properties palette, and now I want to color the different space types with different colors. Like, let's say I make all the meeting rooms yellow. So I select here all the meeting rooms and set the color to yellow. And then I can, for example, make a screenshot out of this and then just copy paste my screenshot into Excel. And I have the picture that goes along with the data. Now this can of course be taken much further in Excel. I made a small example here. Used color coding for the different space types. And then I took some screenshots in simplebim from the floors, which have the same color coding as I used in this list. And of course it's possible to make all kinds of graphs like this pie chart using the data and using the same colors that you have in the 3D and in the list. And you can of course use Excel like this to make any kind of report or presentation that you want to do. Okay, this concludes the basic tutorial for using IFC with Excel in the simplebim application. So you basically just import an IFC file, select the object and properties you want to have in Excel, and click on the Export to Excel button. If you want to know more about the Excel-related capabilities of simplebim, please also watch the advanced tutorial for using IFC in Excel. Thank you.